In classic Blizzard fashion, we have had a patch, and absolutely no one knew that it had dropped, realistically. They don't do a great job of announcing these things, especially in the app. It'd be great if you had like an in-app notification to say, hey, there's been a patch. This patch is relatively significant. I was wondering why some of the stuff that I was doing didn't feel the same way anymore. And there are two patch notes that I want to run through. There's the Warcraft Rumble.gg patch notes, which have the hidden patch notes, which Blizzard don't always include. But I'm going to go through the official patch notes first. Okay. Arclight Surge will now surge one zone 4 times per week, rather than 2 zones 2 times per week. So I assume it'll give you slightly less time to do a zone, but they don't kind of overwhelm your screen so much like they do on the current times. But you're not losing anything. There's no massive change here. It's just that new zones will pop up throughout the week rather than just having 2 zones 2 times per week. Towers will no longer attack chests during the guild armament surges. These are just fixes to Arclight Surge. Not massive things to worry about. So this was the patch on... These are the notes on the Chimera patch. So the Blood Mage Thalnos damage has been increased by 10, which then obviously scales with levels. And Grommash Health Scream's base health has been increased by 10%, which then obviously scales upwards with levels as well. Tapping a mini's level now displays a tooltip showing all of its bonus levels and their sources. And then we have some talent changes. And here are the big talent changes, everyone. So are you ready for this? Baron Rivendare, the Skeleton Mage spawn frequency of Chill of the Grave has been increased for towers, and I assume that's not barracks, so towers, from 18 seconds from 15 seconds. But according to the Warcraft Rumble.gg patch notes, it's actually 20 seconds. So, a 5-second nerf to tower spawns, which will make more of an impact the more towers there are. Still think that Baron will be good, but this is a step in the right direction for Baron, just to try and stop his obnoxious level of map control. The lifesteal gain from Drain Life has been increased to 10% from 8%. It's a small change. I don't think it's a massive change, but it's a small enough change. This is the one that's confusing to me. Cold Snap should now slow movement as intended instead of applying a stun. Now, I assume that means that it removes, takes mini movement speed to 0. So it slows movement speed to 0. Instead of applying a stun, because obviously minis that are affected by Blizzard could not attack, which is what made Blizzard so good in certain decks, is that you could just Blizzard stuff in front of a Huntress or Blizzard stuff in front of a Troll Headhunter, and they would not receive damage back because they were not able to get attacked back. So I assume that is just simply saying that they can now attack, but their movement speed will be reduced to 0. So in my opinion, this change to Blizzard kind of really reduces its power. Blizzard was good because you could do these plays where not only would you get good control of the map... Sorry for so many pauses. My kids are still not sleeping and it's like nearly 9:30. So I think that massively reduces Blizzard's power because Blizzard was so good at just allowing your units to trade upwards. It kept Huntress safe. Huntress could clear up big groups of minis. Troll Headhunter could clear up big groups of minis. I still think Blizzard would be useful, but it's definitely not going to be as absurdly insane as it was paired with certain minis. However, still one of the best AoE clears in the game, and if it still roots, ground units, then that's still fine. AoE damage triggered by gold mine should no longer damage flying troops. Yeah, that was a weird bug that seemed to happen all the time. So I'm quite glad that's getting changed. Headhunting should now properly stack more than once. Do you know, I never knew that it didn't stack more than once. I still think that talent is going to be not as strong. The only reason being is that in PvP, like, you're never going to get the chance to stack up Headhunter, and even if you do, you're just going to get safe piloted. So, it's not the most ideal talent anyway. That's why Big Bad Voodoo's better, because in Cairn decks you don't immediately get one shot, so there's always a bit of outplay potential with the Troll Headhunter. Pick locks should no longer grant gold to an enemy if they claim the chest after the player's bandits have attacked it. This was not a consistent bug, by the way, but it was a bug that has been around for a very, very, very long time. And you might have even noticed it on heroic. What's the heroic level where the dragon flies around the cave, the fire one? You know the one I mean. Ember Strife. Heroic Ember Strife. It's heroic Ember Strife draw spawns bandits with the pick lock talent, and if you allow them to attack one of the chests, and then you take it with a safe pilot, and you kill the bandits, you often got 4 gold, and you're like, why? And it happened in PvP all the time as well. It used to happen a lot on the previous map, not Arathi Basin, sorry, not Alterac Valley, the one before that. And essentially, you used to like have pick lock on your bandits because your chest was so close to your base. You started attacking it, and then you got safe piloted, and then they got 4 gold, which is just ridiculous. So I'm glad that they've tried to fix that, because that has been in the game for ages. Apocalypse now summons affected skeletons randomly on the left or right. Previously, affected skeletons would always spawn in the top left corner of the barracks. Fair enough. It's not exactly a widely used talent, to be honest with you. But obviously seeing a little bit more use, maybe because of the Sapper's cheat death combo that's going around. Earthfall Totem should no longer be cast before the Shaman encounters a damaged building, so it won't cast it on full HP buildings. That means you can spawn a Shaman at your barracks to walk past a tower, and it will then spawn it at a damaged tower rather than at a full HP base. Earth Shield should no longer be cast on buildings. Okay. That's for the Earth Shield. So yeah, you can't give Armored to buildings. I did not know that you could give Armored to buildings, to be honest with you, but that would seem ridiculous if you could. Okay. Piercing Blows vertical range has been reduced from 2.3 to 3.5. Sorry, 2.5 from 3.5. Why did I say 2.2? Why did I... Can't talk, guys. Why did I say 2.3? Basically, it means he's able to attack his enemies more appropriately. I think this is just a more of a targeting issue for General Drakaseth if you're running the Piercing Blows talent, which is probably the second best talent on Drakaseth. So if you got a rare Drakaseth, then you're probably going to have access to this talent. Might just mean that it's a bit more consistent, a bit more usable. We'll have to test and see what happens. Hair Drop should no longer be consumed by chests. What happens if you level up a chest? Does it give more gold? You know, obviously not, but that'd be quite funny. Remorseless should now deal double damage instead of triple damage. So actually, I was playing Maiev today, and I thought, oh, she does feel a little bit less powerful. Still very good. Frankly, I don't think this is going to suddenly change Maiev from like broken to not broken. It's not really about the double damage for Maiev. It's you play Maiev for the stealth attack, like the Fan of Knives AoE stealth attack. That damage hasn't been changed. Even if just about to die on the spot. 1 second. I paused this video so many times. Even if she's doing double damage or triple damage, she should basically kill most things anyway. And it's not really about that part of her kit anyway. It's really about that stealth attack. That's the most important thing that Maev's got, and that's why she's so effective. Like, she can basically clear anything in an AoE area around her. Like, she one-shots Troll Headhunters, she kills Griffin Riders. She's just very strong in general for that reason. Plague Farmer should now actually receive extra range and splash area. Did he not have extra range and splash area already? He already felt like my dog was like licking my plate. I had to pause again. Did he not already have extended range? It felt like he had extended range. That's crazy. I didn't realize that Plague Farmer did not have extended range already. Now, when you've got the extended range of Splashing Pumpkins, it's going to go even further. So if you're running Splashing Pumpkins in your like Baron deck, for instance, with Plague Farmer, you're probably going to have very good control of the central reservation area, which is pretty cool. Divine Shield should now properly block attacks from General Drakaseth. I knew that was a bug. I thought that General Drakaseth did so much damage that it just got you straight past that 30% barrier to dead. So I just thought that was a mechanic that it felt weird, but maybe it was right. But in my head, I was like, there's got to be a bug. So now Tyrion actually has a chance at tanking General Drakaseth, which is good. That makes Tyrion a little stronger in some circumstances. So I really like that change because I knew there was something going on. I distinctly remember playing this game of Tyrion where I was queuing into a General Drakaseth and my Tyrion was getting one shot by General Drakaseth, and I was like, what? Where is my Divine Shield talent? It's just not working. It might even be a video of it somewhere. But yeah, I thought that was a bug. Brambleburst's timing has been adjusted to better sync up with the visual effects. I assume that means he's going to poison a little later. So he poisons when he actually exits the ground rather than just when he starts unburrowing. I guess that's the change. Additional changes. Burn now has a 0.5 second delay before the first tick of damage is dealt. Reapplying Burn rapidly will not cause this 0.5 second delay to reset, ensuring burn damage is dealt consistently regardless of application frequency. Okay. Increase the rate. So this is this is something that I knew had taken place, but they didn't actually mention it until now. Increase the rate at which leaders gain honor in PvP. Updated the rewards for 4300 and 9600 to major leader tome from modest tome. Okay, so we've had a couple of updates. That's not a massive reward update, but at least it's some kind of reward update. The number of mini copies received from PvP honor awards has been rebalanced to provide more copies earlier. Oh, I assume this is Chimera. So you'll get 4-star Chimera, 4-star Chimera, 4-star Chimera, 6-star Chimera, star Chimera, and 10 stars of Chimera. Fair enough. We already kind of knew that. Those changes have already gone through. The Basilisk Fang Relic now deals the correct amount of damage. I don't know what the Basilisk Fang Relic is. The Band of the Arcanist and Band of the Protector Relic should now appropriately work with Chalga. Okay, so the Spirit Link passive was messing up the cost reduction from those two particular relics. Dungeons no longer forbid players from proceeding for 10 minutes of a match. Yes! Oh, I hope that change is coming today. That's the single biggest yes I've ever said. There's so many times when I'm recording a video, and you've probably seen me do it, where I'm like, I've got to wait 10 minutes. And that was the most annoying thing recording a video, but there we go. Fixed an issue with the continue button not being tappable at the end of the game. We spare, probably. Okay, good. That's a very common bug. Old rewards should no longer fail to claim when a player uses multiple devices. Fixed an issue that prevents some sigil rewards on the path of Onyxia from being claimed. Chain Lightning should no longer bounce to Sylvanas' Banshee multiple times when used to kill Sylvanas. Interesting, I didn't know it did that. Rend and Gith's range stat are now properly grouped with their respective stats. I assume Gith is the range of the Drake that he rides. Fair enough. Chimera's stat page should now show the correct damage for each individual head, maybe on the left and the right side properly. Frostwolf Shaman's healing should now match what is shown on the stat page. Abomination should no longer be able to hook minis on a bridge above him. I didn't even know that was... I mean, I assumed it was a bug, but that was well annoying. Like, that was... I mean, yeah. I think he can still hook from minis below him, though, right? So just not above him. Yeah. Core Hounds can now resurrect their buddies if they get stealthed, and fixed a couple of armies... Fixed a couple of enemy armies that had multiple copies of Harpies in their deck, causing them to be able to play Harpies back to back. If anyone knows what those are, please tell me. So that's all of the patch notes. The big change is obviously a sort of change to Blizzard, change to Baron. Those are the two big ones. Maybe Plague Farmer will be relevant, but really it's sort of Baron and Blizzard the biggest changes here. Now, I'm going to go to warcraftrumble.gg. There will be some... holiday bundles available that look very good value, by the way. I've got that value calculator on my Discord if you want to go work out the value yourself. But these look very, very good. You get a legendary core as well, which is going to be useful for like 2 people. But loads of Arc Energy, 10 stars for a random mini, 10 stars for an active leader, 5 stars for an inactive leader, 2 mega leader tomes, loads of coins. Yeah, these are great bundles. Some hidden patch notes. This is what is essentially hidden patch notes. They were things that were not quite said in the main patch notes. Apparently, according to warcraftrumble.gg, it's actually 20 seconds rather than 18 seconds. They've timed it. The attack timing has been adjusted to better sync up with visual effects. So basically, I think Chimera often looked a bit wonky attacking because it felt like the damage was being dealt before the attack had gone through. Deep Breath. Double Dragon does not deal double damage at the junction anymore, which basically means that you're not going to get Deep Breath in PvP on your base, on rotation, and have it deal more damage than Execute. Execute should deal more damage to the base than Deep Breath. A mirror image bug fix, I don't know what that means. Skeleton Party, Ritual of Rhyme AI fixed when leashing. I don't quite know what that means. Yeah, not sure what. Leashing usually means when you're like pulling aggro of a mob. So I don't know what the AI is. Maybe they all attack the same target if you're leashing a specific target. Maybe they all... I don't know what the actual deal is with that. There's some changes to missions. Blind Mary has been buffed ever so slightly. Devil Saw Tail Swipe has been doubled in range, so has been buffed. Draka Axe Throw range has been increased from... So I assume the Tail Swipe range is the Tail Swipe range at the back of her when you have minis behind her, so you can't like spawn... You can't spawn minis like behind her and actually have them deal damage to her. So I assume that's the case. It's not actually going to affect the normal strategies for Devil Saw. Draka has been buffed. Crumb Crush has been buffed. Chalga has been slightly nerfed. Onyxia has been not ever so slightly. I'd say like her gold generation per stage has been doubled, which is now making Onyxia even harder. Like Onyxia needed to be harder, they've made Onyxia even harder. Imulthar, there's just a load of pathing issues being fixed. Relics. Your towers, barracks, and meeting stones spawn a whelp egg every 15 seconds, up from 8 seconds. So a big nerf to Black Whelp Tunic, because you did generate a lot of whelp eggs for free. There's a load of bug fixes. And then the Plague Bot replaced one of the extra harpy minis with a Darkspear Troll. So it's a PvP bot, is it? Okay, interesting. I don't know what the plague. Oh, the plague is a bot. So the person that's called the plague replaced one of their extra harpies in their deck with a Darkspear Troll. Okay, cool. Those are all of the patch notes. So yeah, like I said, the biggest change is realistically, obviously really annoying to see Onyxia get buffed. Another big change is that Deep Breath has been nerfed considerably, which makes Execute even better in the current meta. And we've seen a big change to Blizzard and a change that may affect Baron. But realistically, I still think Baron's going to be very good. I don't expect Baron to be out of the meta at all. I still think he'll be a top 3 leader. And that is everything. I did not know that these patch notes had come out, so sorry that they're a bit late. There we go. Hope you enjoyed the breakdown. I'll see you soon.